Bots are hot news these days, which interests me because I've been talking for years about algorithms on social media networks and how they're used to spread false information. The classic example I always point to in talks is the Massachusetts Senate race of 2010, in which Scott Brown pulled a last-minute upset victory over incumbent Martha Coakley. And that led researchers to discover a vast, intricate botnet that spread misinformation about Coakley on social media and gamed Google results in what became known as a Twitter bomb. Today, it's all about the Russian bots who helped Donald Trump get elected, in part by spreading misinformation about Hillary Clinton. But a slightly different story caught my eye today, and it concerns Al Franken. If you'll recall, last year, several different women came forward with stories of Al Franken, previously of Saturday Night Live, most recently a Democratic senator from Minnesota, of groping them. There was photographic evidence of at least one incident, and Franken has apologized for all of the incidents, and he eventually resigned. This week, Mike Farb of Unhack the Vote wrote a piece on Medium claiming that liberals were manipulated by conservative bots spreading propaganda, which directly led to Franken's ousting. Farb says that he and his cohorts discovered a network of bots who created an echo chamber that spread false information because, and I quote, "people are easily convinced that if everybody's talking about it, it must be true." He says that someone set up 2 Japanese sites with pseudo-news and linked to them on Twitter using the article title, "Dear Al Franken, I'll miss you, but you can't matter anymore." That article was originally written by Ijeoma Oluo for the website The Establishment, but the title was stolen and used to link only to the Japanese sites on Twitter, and those sites were just full of ads. Bots then shared those links around Twitter, and you can tell that they're bots by the fact that they only follow each other, they parrot the same news stories. There are algorithms to identify these bots, which were actually created after that Coakley incident, and you can read more about that over at the Botometer. Link is below. That's from the Observatory on Social Media at Indiana University. Farb lays out a convincing narrative for the fact that this story was definitely amplified by bots. He also points out that a letter penned by 8 former Franken staffers defending him from the allegations got very little publicity. Here's the problem I have with all of this, though. When I talk about the use of social media to spread misinformation, it's important to me that we are talking about, well, misinformation, lies. And nothing in Farb's article suggests that bots or trolls or anyone else is responsible for saying anything, absolutely anything, untrue. And that's a serious problem. Franken actually did grope several women. He admitted it. Bots may have helped spread that story, but it also spread because it's part of a larger conversation in our society about the cancerous mistreatment of women at the hands of powerful men today. And it's true, it happens. Even worse, Farb's article itself is spreading misinformation. Oluo's article was published on December 7th, just after Franken had already resigned in Congress. How can a botnet carry so much responsibility for Franken's resignation when he had already resigned by the time they started spreading around the true news of his sexual harassment? Farb also seems sad that the letter from Franken's staffers didn't get to go viral like the story of his groping, which is a frankly disgusting thing to say. Let me make it really clear for Farb and anyone else who might not realize this. A man might sexually assault someone, but not sexually assault you. Not sexually assaulting you doesn't mean that he's innocent of sexually assaulting someone else. Charles Manson didn't murder me, but I'm okay with him dying in prison. You get it? Good. Over on Raw News, Sarah Burris is sad to report that, and I quote, "No coordinated network of bots exists on the left that is funded by Democratic donors." As though that's just a fact, when she has absolutely no way to verify that at all. So this Medium post about misinformation is being spread around spreading misinformation itself and being used to spread even more misinformation. It's honestly baffling to me how many layers of idiocy there are. Yes, bots exist, and yes, they can be used to spread misinformation and lies. But this is not one of those cases. And it makes liberals look completely insane that they grasp at straws like this. Accept this fact. A politician we all love turned out to be a giant prick in one specific way. He resigned. Move on. Elect people who don't grope other people against their consent. Then we can complain when a botnet spreads lies about them, not when they spread the truth. Otherwise, you're just telling me, a woman, that Russian and Japanese bots on Twitter care more about women than liberal humans.